Okay, so right now, the entire world of artificial intelligence is laser-focused on one city, New Delhi. And believe me, what's happening there is a whole lot more than just another tech conference. We're talking about the India AI Impact Summit 2026, and it could genuinely be a turning point for the future of AI. So, let's break down exactly why this is such a big deal.
To really get a sense of the scale we're dealing with here, just look at this number. We're talking over 35,000 people. That's huge. This is not some small regional get-together, you know? This is a massive global event. And honestly, that's just the start of it.
And yeah, those 35,000 plus people, they're not just local. Nope. They are flying in from over 100 different countries. Just think about that for a second. You've got heads of state rubbing shoulders with tech CEOs, a ton of startups, the world's top researchers, all of them descending on New Delhi for one reason.
Well, you know, the most important part of this whole story isn't just who's coming or how many people are there, it's where it's happening. This is the first ever global AI summit on this scale to be hosted in the Global South. And let me tell you, that is not just a change of scenery, it's a game changer. It fundamentally shifts the entire conversation we're having about AI.
So that leads us right into our first big point, why this summit is without a doubt a historic global first.
All right, to really get why this is so important, just look at the journey this whole thing has been on. It started in the UK back in November 2023, then it went to Seoul, then Paris, and now, February 2026, it lands in New Delhi. See the pattern? By hosting this, India is literally shifting the center of gravity for the entire AI world. It's making sure that the voices of developing nations are no longer on the sidelines, but right at the heart of the conversation.
And that brings us to the next big piece of the puzzle. India's totally unique vision for AI. Because, see, this summit isn't just about playing host. It's about fundamentally changing the conversation with a whole new way of thinking about this technology. And right at the heart of that vision, you'll find something called the three sutras. Now, sutra is a Sanskrit word that basically means a guiding principle or rule. And these three principles, they are the philosophical backbone of this entire summit. They're all about defining a path forward for AI that actually serves everyone.
So what exactly are these sutras? Well, it's pretty straightforward, but really powerful. First up, you've got people. That's all about making sure AI is human-centric, that it's actually improving things like healthcare and education. Then there's planet. This one's focused on using AI to tackle massive challenges like climate change and push for sustainability. And finally, progress. This is where we harness AI to drive innovation, create jobs, and boost economic growth. So people, planet, progress. It's a really complete, holistic way of looking at things.
Okay, a grand vision is great, but who's actually showing up to make it happen? Well, that brings us to the absolute titans of tech and policy who are all gathering in New Delhi.
Seriously, the guest list for this thing is just mind-blowing. You're talking about over 20 heads of state, more than 45 ministerial delegations, the UN Secretary General himself, and then you look at the tech side. I mean, you've got the guys who are basically defining the entire AI landscape. Sam Altman from OpenAI, Sundar Pichai from Google, Jensen Huang from NVIDIA, plus more than 500 startups from all over the world. When you get all those people in one room, well, let's just say the decisions they make are going to have ripples everywhere. The world is definitely listening.
And you know, one of the biggest topics they'll be tackling is that one fear everyone has about AI: jobs. This quote here from a top Indian tech official just tackles that fear head-on. He's citing a major report, and he lays out India's take on it, which is actually pretty optimistic. The idea is that, yeah, while maybe 2 million jobs are lost, 4 million new ones will be created. It's a vision that's all about transformation, not just replacement.
All right, so there's a ton happening over these 5 days. So what should you really be keeping an eye on? Let's break it down. Here's your summit watch list.
So the whole week really builds up. It kicks off with expos and some policy roundtables, then it moves into some pretty deep research sessions midweek. But the days to really watch are February 19th, that's when Prime Minister Modi gives the official inauguration, and especially February 20th, that's the big one. That's when we're expecting them to adopt the final summit declaration. We're talking about a single document that could literally set the rules for global AI policy for years to come. Which brings us to the big question. Why does this whole thing change everything? What are the real long-term implications here? Well, think about it this way. The conversation around AI up until now, it's been pretty much dominated by a handful of tech hubs, right? And a lot of the talk was about risks and ethics, but from their perspective. This summit is signaling a whole new conversation. The focus is shifting. It's now about AI for development, about creating a global governance framework, and, this is so important, about bridging the massive AI divide between richer and poorer nations.
And just look at the heavy-hitting topics on the table here. We're talking about crafting a global framework for how AI is governed, democratizing access to the actual tech, the compute power, the data, the models, making sure AI is safe, trusted, and accountable, like for everyone. This isn't just some academic debate. This is about setting the actual rules of the road for the entire planet.
And if you need just one more little detail to understand the sheer economic gravity of what's happening, check out this number: $33,000.
What is that?
Well, that's the reported price for one single night in some of the luxury hotel suites in New Delhi right now. I mean, that's just an insane number, right? But it tells you everything you need to know about the massive influx of world leaders and CEOs and the incredible economic spotlight that is now shining on this summit. Because at the end of the day, the crucial thing to remember is this. This summit isn't just about the tech. It's not just about code and algorithms. It's about geopolitics. It's about global development. It's about hitting the reset button on the entire global agenda for AI's future.
So, the decisions being made in New Delhi this week, they're going to shape the tools and the rules that we all live by in the near future. And that really leaves just one final question. Not for them, but for you. As AI becomes a bigger and bigger part of our world, what problem are you going to choose to solve with it?